Thank you very much, Speaker. My question is to the Premier. Speaker, I'd like to welcome our hard-working, frontline, dedicated correctional and probation parole officers here today, as well as community advocates who are here once again to highlight the crisis in corrections. Speaker, there are people who have worked nearly their entire careers under these conditions in corrections. Violence in the workplace is at epidemic levels. PTSD from exposure is at chronic levels, but still not all correctional staff are covered. These correctional and probation officers need resources, not good intentions. They need training, but most importantly, they need adequate staffing levels that can actually alleviate these pressures. Speaker, the Liberals claim that they've created 1,500 new positions, but, Speaker, this is simply a new metric of Liberal accounting, because as few as 24 actual positions have been created. Speaker, after 15 years, how can this government be trusted to correct the crisis in corrections that they've created?
Mr. Speaker, Minister of Community Safety and Correctional Services.
Minister of Community Safety and Correctional Services.
Thank you very much. Certainly I appreciate the question, and I know on this side of the House how appreciative we are of our hard-working, dedicated correction officers and correction staff, parole and probation officer, bailiff, everyone, Mr. Speaker. And certainly I hear the concerns that we hear those issues that are raised. But, Mr. Speaker, I also want to talk about some of the investment that we've been making in the past few years. And you know, we made a commitment, and I shared this earlier, where we've hired 1,400 new officers, and we're fully committed to achieve our 2,000 new correction officers that we have in 10. We've also hired more mental health support nurse, Mr. Speaker. Is there more to do? Definitely, and I'll talk more on the supplementary.
Thank you. Supplementary.
Thank you, Speaker. As many as 50% of inmates have mental health and addiction problems. Another 5 went out on stretchers this past weekend in Niagara due to overdoses. Yet there weren't enough nurses to even make a dent. There are 8,000 inmates inside our facilities, many of these on remand, but there are 45,000 in community on parole, yet serious underfunding of probation parole officers has meant caseloads of over 50 per officer. Bill 6, after 15 years, tabled during the last act of a Liberal government, is too little, too late. Where is the explicit commitment to increasing resources for those working every day in corrections?
Thank you. Minister.
So, the member reflected on Bill 6, and certainly this comes from several, I would say, years of consultation and in addressing the challenges. And every time I hear
Finish, please.
You know, Mr. Speaker, every time I hear incidents that are occurring, with our correction staff, our correctional staff, or inmates issues, it's always something that I take very seriously. And as I said, the safety and security of our staff and inmates are paramount to me.